we're going over TERS 3 annuity options. So the question specifically, or statement I guess they put in the form here, was that they're looking to learn more about TERS 3 annuity options, if they make sense, guidelines, and best ways to maximize them. So with Plan 3 money, specifically in Washington State, as far as options goes, you can always move the money out or leave it there. The thing to know is that when it comes to annuity options, you guys have essentially 4 annuities you can purchase. First one we're going to nix right off the bat, that's a private annuity. The only way you get a private annuity is when you move money out of Washington State, you move into an IRA, we move directly into an annuity that you purchase. These are very common when you're working with people that work for insurance companies because they need to get their commission check. So when you take money out, you buy a private annuity, you'll get either some type of guaranteed income, some kind of growth structure that can follow the bells and whistles to make it sound good. And case in point, I'm licensed to do that kind of stuff. And I haven't done one in a very long time because it straight up doesn't make sense. The annuities that the state offers, or in terms of income benefits, far outweigh any type of annuity structure that you have. And if someone pitches you some type of growth annuity, I've done those too. They ain't that great. There's other investments out there that have much lower fees, no commission, that actually are a little more liquid, that produce the same, if not better, benefits. So don't fall for the annuity, this type of special deal. You always want to ask kind of what's in it for them. If this is so great, why doesn't everybody do it? Kind of follow your gut there. So if you get pitched a private annuity as Washington State Employee Plan 3, pump the brakes, do research, call other advisors, get some other opinions on it. Because once you make that move, it's pretty much permanent and it's going to cost a lot of money to get out of. And once you move money out of Plan 3 elsewhere, you're no longer eligible for any other annuity from the state. You should basically shoot yourself in the foot. And I had a prospect come in this past week, retired in August, moved all his money out into an IRA, not knowing that he just lost his right to purchase any type of annuity from the state. Now he's looking for income options, and it's like, well, you just limited yourself from 3 of the best options out there. Now we have to look at, private strategies, not necessarily annuities, but we're gonna have to make it work from structuring your investments up properly to produce the income that you need. It would have been easier had he not rushed through this. If he called me before making that move, then we could have maybe looked at these options first, and maybe they didn't work out for him, but at least knowing what you're saying no to before doing it makes a big difference. So the 3 annuity options that you have from Washington State specifically are the service credit annuity, aka buying service credits. You have your plan-based annuity. In this case, it'd be the TERS annuity. So every system that has an acronym has an annuity named after them. Left annuity, TERS annuity, CERS annuity, on and on and on. And then Plan 3 specifically, the one annuity that's unique to Plan 3 members only is the TAP annuity, which is a total allocation portfolio annuity. So when you're looking at those 3 options, it's important to see how much income I'm going to get from them, because they're all income annuities. They all pay out guaranteed for your life. You can name survivors on there. So should I pass away, the income stream continues on for them. If you ever never spend all that money, so you pass away before you spent all that money down, whoever you list as a beneficiary, which is different than a survivor, will get that money as a lump sum. So survivor continues the income stream, beneficiaries get the lump sum. So it's important to compare what the payout is. If I'm going to buy service credits, I can only buy up to 5 years of that. And there's a whole formula on, how much that's going to cost and stuff. Is that cost, or how much money I have to put in there, going to generate enough income to make it worth it? We're looking specifically as kind of what the rate of return is on that investment. It doesn't make sense. So you have to do some math when comparing those 3 options to figure out what's the best path for you. This is something that we do with our clients, is to help them find what the right path is. So buying service credits is the first route to look at. You can only get 5 years. Basically, you're adding to your pension plan. So if you're in Plan 3, you're basically getting 1% per year that you're buying, or an extra 5% added to your pension. So easy math, if you're top 5 consecutive years, or about $100,000 on average, you're getting 5% of that. It's another $5,000 per year is what you're adding. Now, depending on what that costs you, again, the cost formula is a whole nother issue. I've got videos on YouTube going in detail on that. You got to figure out if the cost is $100,000 or $150,000, how many years is it going to take for me to get my money back? What is the percentage, basically my return on that money? So I'll look at that first. Option 2, we said it was the plan annuity. So if I'm looking at this TRS annuity, what does the payment plans look like on that? So same thing. If I put in $200,000 for my Plan 3 money into this TERS annuity, how much is it going to pay me on a guaranteed basis? One quick side note, when it goes back to service credit annuities here, is you actually can't use the Plan 3 money to make that purchase. So you're eligible to purchase it, but the Plan 3 funds specifically cannot be used to buy them. You have to use outside money, cash, other investments, things like that to make that purchase. When we look at this TERS annuity, it's the same thing. You cannot use your Plan 3 money to buy. You can use other money, 403Bs, deferred comp, savings, things like that, but you cannot use the Plan 3 money specifically to make that purchase. So that leads to the TAP annuity specifically. So TAP annuity is the one that only Plan 3 money can be used for. So service credit and TERS annuities cannot have any Plan 3 money. TAP annuity is only Plan 3 money. So that's one of the biggest differences between them, is what funds can I use to make the purchase. As far as payout rates, last time I did the comparison, TERS annuity pays a little bit more than TAP annuity, and it's just barely more in the beginning. But Plan 3 is usually the one that all our clients go with, simply because I can use my Plan 3 money, which is where most people have their money. And two, the TAP annuity has a guaranteed 3% cost of living adjustment on it. Guaranteed for life is something you can't find out there unless you're paying a heavy fee or taking a big income reduction up front. You can't find that in the private market at all. That 3% is huge. When I look at the TERS annuity, even though they pay a little bit more to begin with, they don't have a guaranteed cost of living adjustment. Their cost of living is based on the CPI index. It can be anywhere from 0 to 3%. It follows the same income increase as your state pension plans. There's no guarantee it's going to go up. That 3% is guaranteed per year. So even though that the state pensions have been paying out the max 3% every year since COVID, 5 years in a row now, at some point it's likely that maybe they won't pay 30%, maybe they go 2% next year. That TAP annuity is going to overtake it any time that thing dips below 3%. And so for that reason, once it dips below it, it's not ever going to catch it back up again. So that's one of the other reasons why a lot of people use a TAP annuity for that. Now, the TAP annuity, there is no income deadline on it. It's available to you as long as you have money in Plan 3. So if you're retired today, you leave money in that plan for 5 years. 5 years from now, you can come back and say, hey, I want that TAP annuity now. You can move the money in and start that income stream. The other ones have deadlines on them. So service credit and TERS annuity, you have about 60 days after you separate service to make the purchase. Otherwise, the offer is off the table. So if you're going to go one of those routes, you have to make the decision pretty quick to know if you're going to make that move or not. Otherwise, it's gone forever. So those are pretty much all of your options that you have as a TERS 3 member. And to summarize it up, only one of those can be used with Plan 3 money. The other two have to be used with outside money and has deadlines of 6 days after you separate service. Once those deadlines pass, TAP becomes your only option. Once money comes out of your Plan 3 account, you forfeit the TAP for the rest of your life. Then if you ever need guaranteed income in the future, private annuities are your only option, and you're going to be paying higher fees on that for lower income and less guaranteed growth. So this is a super important decision. It's one of the key reasons I'm able to get people out many years earlier than they thought possible, is because we're not afraid to look at these TAP annuities, the benefits, and how they can potentially provide more income than not just private annuities, but just people that want to pull money off the market or dividends or however you want to do it. TAP annuities are built for retirement income. Dividends, income withdrawals from the market are not. There's nothing that guarantees that's going to work out. Yes, maybe you could earn more money that way down the road, but you're going to still have to deal with the roller coasters. Nothing is guaranteed. So TAP annuities should be something to consider before separating service, just to make sure you understand all the pros and cons of it before saying yes or no to it. And just remember that it's not an all or nothing thing. You don't have to put all your money in. I wouldn't even recommend doing that for most people. So you always just put a little bit in just to get some type of guaranteed growth. A common strategy people are using now is putting just enough in to cover their rent, or they put just enough in to cover their medical costs. And it just gives what's one less bill you have to worry about. Like, oh, a lot of people worry about healthcare. Well, if I put just enough in to generate the $1,000 a month that I need to cover my healthcare bill, then that's one less thing I have to think about or worry about down the road. And that can make a real big difference when people are thinking about retiring early. So if you want more insight on this, to dive into the different strategies, the link to schedule a call with us, it was in the description below. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper on this, I have the Washington Breakthrough Community. The link is down below as well. You can join us there to go through the free course, ask questions in the community page, and we'll be happy to support you along the way. So hope this helps you guys out. I'll catch you guys next time, and remember that your future depends on what you do today.